Hare Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttarashita Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttarashita Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttarashita Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttarashita Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishtam Vishnupara Shuttarashita Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishta Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Nityalala Prabhishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dasagunath Shard Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshada Vrind ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vaja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bhadatta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. And second. Jai Shri Śaraṇāgati ki jai. All the kirtans of Śaraṇāgati ki jai. Shri Gitavali Kalyana Kalpataru Gitamala ki jai. Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vai. Oh, and today is 1 second, let me just look at the calendar. Oh, never mind. Today's nothing. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavi Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, everybody. So let's do the Mangalacharan and then we will start. Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Koriya Gurvan Vaye Bhatur Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bharati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jivan Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdhi Gahana Sukham Pradhat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhin Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vrishabhanusutan vitavamatanu yamuna tatanagaranandasutam Murali Kalagita Vinoda Param Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Smara Gaura Gadadhara Keli Kalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukatam Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Tavai Vasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam, nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay, kshiptascha kama dittaranga Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Wow, I'm just looking over at YouTube and Facebook, and so this happened one time before. There are lots of people watching right now. It keeps on going up to like 35, and then it'll go up higher, and then it goes lower, and it's like, yeah. One time it happened, there was like 50 or 60 people, and it kept on increasing. And then I don't know what happens. Maybe like the out, but anyways, pranams to everybody. um, um, yeah, somehow it just like gets spread all over Facebook, and then all these people join, and then yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how it works, but anyhow, Dandavat pranams. I don't see any comments though. I just see a big number of people, but anyhow, Dandavat pranams to everybody. Let's see all who is there. Sarveshwari Mataji, Dandavat pranams, Guru Nishta Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji, Manjulali Didi, Prajumna Prabhu, Goranga Prabhu, Sri Devi Didi, Krishnamai Didi, Archana Didi, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, Anjali Didi, and Anadi Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat pranams to all of you, and Dandavat pranams to all the 40 or so people watching right now on YouTube and Facebook. I have no idea who you are, but pranams to all of you. So, one second, let me just change the view to, okay, there. Yeah, so on, I just want to mention, like, today I was thinking of, I was feeling tempted to cancel today's class, but I don't really have a good reason. It's just that I'm like really tired and my brain's not functioning. And that happens to me lots of times on Dwadashi. For some reason, Dwadashi mornings are really difficult for me. I get like very, yeah, I'm good about fasting. I always do it, but sometimes it just like really affects me, especially during the summertime. I get really weak and spacey and just like very vated out. But yeah, I was just thinking now, oh God, I mean, I say this all the time, but like today especially, I was like, oh man, I haven't prepared anything. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm not really, yeah, I'm not feeling very inspired right now. And when people see how like my lack of inspiration, then everybody's gonna like not like this program anymore, and they're gonna leave, and the whole thing's gonna fail. And you know how the mind is. It just got into this whole thing. So then I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just talk about this. It's the practice, right? Sometimes we might be feeling inspired, and sometimes we're not feeling at all inspired. But we have to do the practice. It doesn't depend on how I feel or yeah, I heard one I might be getting some of these details a bit wrong, but we were just reading in our last program, we were reading about Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj when he was at Toto Gopinath. And he said that how he's been doing this for 50 years and still nothing's come. And then he said that verse, Yatra Parishram, and then my Gurudev, I think, indicated to Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj to speak. And so then he explained about the topic of Dainya. So there's also another, I heard this, I think Damodar Maharaj said it. But he was with Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, and it was a similar kind of thing. Like he said that I've been chanting. I'm probably going to be getting this a little bit wrong, but whatever. It's the ideas there. But he said that I've been chanting Harinam, 64 rounds for however long, and still there's no taste. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And he continued chanting. And so, of course, Vaishnavas, they have genuine humility. And so when they say this, it doesn't mean that Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj doesn't have any taste, but that's how he feels. And he's expressing to that. And also we can see from his example that even if you aren't, it's not about how much I'm getting out of it, how much enjoyment I'm getting out of it or anything, but we just have to do the practice. And through doing the practice, then everything else will come. But this state, before we reach Nishta, and especially before Nishta, and also before Ruchi, especially, then sometimes it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But if you just persist, then you'll get some feedback, you'll get some mercy. And then all of a sudden but if we don't do the practice, we'll never get to that stage. And one thing I remember in Gurukul, my the headmaster, Brajendra Nandan Prabhu, he's very dear to me, like almost like he's totally like my father. But he used to say that once there was a devotee, like every morning Srila Prabhupada would chant japa with all the devotees. And he would sit there to show how to do the practice, that we have to be consistent every single day. We have to sit and chant. And this devotee was having such a difficult time controlling his mind, and his mind was going everywhere, and it was such a struggle. But he so sincerely, he wanted to follow, and so he was very sincerely just trying again and again to bring his mind to Krishna. And so he was closing his eyes and just like putting in so much effort to chant, even though it was so difficult. And then when he looked up, he saw Srila Prabhupada staring at, like watching, like gazing at him, and there were tears coming down Srila Prabhupada's eyes. And so even though it is a struggle sometimes, that's when we're really trying, and we're sincerely trying, and even though it's so difficult, but we're putting in the effort, then that melts the heart of Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, and then they bestow our mercy. So yeah, it's a struggle, but this is an opportunity to really show that even though it's difficult for me, I really want it. And if it wasn't a struggle, then we wouldn't be able to show that effort, right? So maybe this is an opportunity also. Yeah. And we have to have it's very important to just not always do things only on inspiration, but we have to have a fixed number of our what's that verse in what is it? Sharda Goswami Ashtakam. Our acharyas quoted Srila Prabhupada and my Gurudev, and our acharyas quoted so much. Out of all the verses, actually, there are like two verses that seem to be quoted the most. Actually, no, this one verse, the verse in the middle seems to be quoted the most. Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Nativi Kala Vasani Krito. And why do they quote it so much? It's because this is very relevant to us. What is it? Sankhya, the six Goswamis, every day, Sankhya Purvaka Nam. Sankhya Purvak means a fixed number of Nam. So they chant a fixed number of Hari Nam every day. Sankhya Purvaka Gan, they would chant a particular like set of songs every day. They'd have their, then Sankhya Purvaka, no. Yeah, Gan, So every day we're spending time going through the songs of Śaraṇāgati. In the morning time, every morning we sing at Brahma Muhurta, we sing the Guru Bhashtakam and we sing Mangalarti. And we have our whole program where these kirtans have to be like anchored into different parts of our day every single day. And this is the Goswamis showed us by their example. And then Sankhya Purvaka Natibi. Natibi means offering obeisances. So first thing in the morning, we go and we offer obeisances in front of Thakurji. We offer obeisances to Tulsi Devi. And we offer obeisances after every time we do Jaidvani, and then we offer obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. So we have to have a fixed number of obeisances. And every activity of bhakti nourishes the other activity. So by doing these kirtans, we'll get more taste in Harinam, and our Harinam will give us more taste in doing these kirtans. And when we offer pranams, this will like help develop the mood of surrender within us, and then we'll be able to chant more sincerely. And like every single activity they're all like interconnected. And what do you say? Yeah, they all nourish each other, but we have to have, yeah. Anyways, I'm going on a whole rant. Sorry. Okay, so let's begin our program. It's divided into 5 parts. First, we'll read some glories of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. We'll read some words of our acharyas on the topic of Śaraṇāgati. We'll go over Srila Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj's definitions of these limbs of Śaraṇāgati that we're focusing on. And then we will go through the kirtan. That's our program. And every day the program's a little different. Sometimes the program will be more reading. Sometimes the program is going to be more just getting into practical like language things and things to do with the melody. And yeah, every day this program kind of just letting it, I'm not trying to control it too much, just whatever feels right at the time, then I'm doing that. So yeah, all right. Oh, and Guru Nishtha, no, I didn't do a full fast. I wish if I did a full fast, I'd have a lot of a much better excuse, but no, I didn't. Okay, so let's begin. So we're reading this article by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada that he wrote originally in English for the harmonist, also known as Sajan Toshani. And I'm just going to read a little bit of what we read last time, just so that we get the flow. And then, one second, let me make the text bigger. Hey, the heck? What the heck? It's not letting me minimize this. That's so weird. Anyways. Okay, close. Okay, click this. There. Okay. That was weird. Okay. All languages simultaneously express and hide the absolute. This is written in 1931. And he wrote this in English. All languages simultaneously express and hide the absolute. The mundane face of all languages hides the truth, and the transcendental face of all sound expresses nothing but the absolute. The pure devotee is the speaker of the transcendental language. The transcendental sound makes his appearance on the lips of his pure devotee. This is the direct, unambiguous appearance of divinity. On the lips of non-devotees, the absolute always appears in his deluding aspect. To the pure devotee, the absolute reveals himself under all circumstances. To the conditioned soul, if he is disposed to listen in a truly submissive spirit, the language of the pure devotee can alone impart the knowledge of the absolute. The conditioned soul mistakes the deluding for the real aspect. The conditioned soul mistakes the deluding for the real aspect when he chooses to lend his ear to the non-devotee. This is the reason why the conditioned soul is warned to avoid all association with non-devotees. His teachings demolish the empiric method of approaching the absolute. Thakur Bhaktivinoda is acknowledged by all his sincere followers as possessing the above powers of the pure devotee of Godhead. His words have to be received from the lips of a pure devotee. This is a key statement right here. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's words have to be received from the lips of a pure devotee. If his words are listened to from the lips of a non-devotee, they will certainly deceive. If his works are studied in the light of one's own worldly experience, their meaning will refuse to disclose itself to such readers. His works belong to the class of the eternal revealed literature of the world and must be approached for their right understanding through their exposition by the pure devotee. If no help from the pure devotee is sought, the works of Thakur Bhaktivinoda will be grossly misunderstood by their readers. The attentive reader of those works will find that he is always directed to throw himself upon the mercy of the pure devotee if he is not to remain unwarrantably self-satisfied by the deluding results of his wrong method of study. That's why I'm reading, that's why I think it's so important that we read this, like these words of our acharyas, glorifying Bhaktivinoda Thakur, teaching us how to approach his teachings. and like we always have to come to the words of our Guru Varga. And it's through our Guru Varga, especially our recent Guru Varga, that we're able to understand Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. If you just come to this, if I weren't to just read all this and I were just to go through all the kirtans and try to explain them myself and not always be coming back to what our Gurudevs, our Param Gurudev, our Parameshti Gurudev, all our acharyas, what they say, then yeah, there will, look, I'm not a genuine devotee. I'm aspiring to be a devotee, but I'm not even really inspiring, but whatever. I'm trying to aspire to be a devotee. And so if you just hear, if Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's words are listened to from the lips of a non-devotee, they will certainly deceive. Yeah, and you could say, well, then why am I even doing this program? Why am I even, but no, our acharyas are always encouraging us to come together and to try to glorify it. This is kirtan. Kirtan, we hear, and then what we hear from the lips of Sri Guru, then we try to speak that, and that is kirtan. And it's a practice. And so this is our main practice. And so we have to try, but we have to always do it under the guidance of our Guru Varga. That's why when we begin our program, we first say the Mangala Charan. It's essential to do Jayadvani, Mangala Charan, and then pray to our Guru Varga that we can enter this. And if we're not doing that, then 100% we will be deceived by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's words. Not that his words, it's not his words, we'll be deceived by our own thinking that we understand the words, because in his words, he's always, what is it? The attentive reader of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's works will find that he is always directed to throw himself upon the mercy of the pure devotee if he is not to remain unwarrantably self-satisfied by the deluding results of his wrong method of study. So if we aren't taking shelter of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like of a pure devotee, are trying, then we are reading Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's words and like, well, I'm not going to follow that. I'm just going to try to, then we're not actually sincerely trying to follow his words. We're just trying to use his words for our own purpose, to get some knowledge, to be able to impress people, to, it's for every wrong reason. So, yeah. All right. Continuing on. Śaraṇāgati Katha from our acharyas. This is a quote from, it's not totally related, I don't think, but anyhow, I just needed to find something. And this one, this is a quote that has helped me so much. Such an inspiring, let's just read it. It's from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 2. So Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj says, For one who has had the chance to acquire a taste and become attracted to talks of me, my activity, and my movement, no other temptation can any longer hold him under its power. Yeah, once we get taste, then nothing, no temptation can any hold him under its power. That's what we want to get to. We need to get a taste. He becomes indifferent to all other activity. The outcome is that he can understand within that all other things bear some unpleasant reaction. Yet, although he can conceive that they are all pain-producing, he is helpless to immediately free himself from their clutches. The debt is already incurred, and his debtors won't allow him to escape. I am in the midst of so many acquisitions. It is not very easy to leave them at once by my sweet will. Previously, I consciously incurred some obligations, and I cannot abruptly cut off their connection. They won't let me free. Then there's this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 20, verse 28. Tato bhajit tamam prita shraddhalur dridha nishchaya jushamanas chate chatan karman dukho darkansh chagarhayan. But the shraddha, or pure attraction he has acquired for me, this is now Krishna talking, but the shraddha, or pure attraction he has acquired for me, is of eternal nature. It cannot be subdued or cut off by any mundane or ordinary attempt. Despite undergoing so many sufferings, he goes on remembering me. His thinking, aspiration, and earnestness is for me. And the more he is compelled to suffer from the precious, and I love this, and the more he is compelled to suffer from the pressure of the environment, a firmness in me becomes more and more sure, and finally, invulnerable. And by standing the test of all these trials, he will stand and grow beyond the jurisdiction of these mundane forces. The more pressure comes from outside, the more firmness he feels in the necessity of my help to him. At that time, he turns his back to all the pains of the world, and he keeps me in front. He begins to move onward. Whatever happens to me, I can't complain. It is in my master's jurisdiction whether he sees fit for me to undergo these trials or not. But I won't leave my new ideal. I can't. Whatever may come, it may happen. Never mind. Still, he abuses himself. What have I done? What have I done? It is rather justice that I should be tormented and troubled in such a way. It is not wrong. Really, just dealings have come to be exercised over me. Why should I have committed this wrong? I entered this wrong alliance, entered into the tribe of Gundas for exploitation. The reaction that is coming to me is well and good. He blames himself. He does not blame the environment for troubling him, but he sees a concentration camp within. He blames his own self, his own free will and fate. That becomes the nature of his temperament at that time. He does not look to place the fault on the shoulders of others, but he takes the whole burden. Yes, the environment is doing justice to me, the traitor, the ambitious, the oppressor of the environment. When he is in such consciousness, his bhakti yoga, our devotional engagement, becomes more and more intense. The intensity of his progress accelerates. Isn't that just oh man, I need to read this every day. I love this. And Krishna is saying, by standing the test of all these trials, he will stand and grow beyond the jurisdiction of these mundane forces. The more pressure comes from outside, the more firmness he feels in the necessity of my help to him. And these songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that we're going through are our biggest asset for being able to develop this kind of nishta, coming to this point of real surrender like this. We need these songs. This is like, so, okay. So as I mentioned in the previous class, these songs of Śaraṇāgati have been organized in different ways. My Param Gurudev Srila Bhaktivinoda Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he organized them in a certain way. And Srila Bhakti Rakshakshira Goswami Maharaj, he also organized them in a bit of a different way. And then I just saw the original, this devotee Ananta Krishna Rule sent me the original Sajantoshini published in, 1893, where these songs were first published in, I don't know when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote them, but he first published them in Sajantoshini. And so in the original publication, Sajantoshini, the next 3 songs that we're going to be going through are in the Danya section, the humility section. But Srila Bhakti Rakshakshira Goswami Maharaj organized these next 3, like he started from this song, he started Ātma-nivedanātmikā. This is the first Ātma-nivedanātmikā song in Srila Bhakti Rakshakshira Goswami Maharaj's version. And since we are using his version, we're going through his Lagu, what is it called? Lagu Chandrika Bhashya, his commentary. I'm just following how he did it. But maybe next time we go over Śaraṇāgati, maybe we can follow also my Param Gurudev's organization. Also, that was very interesting. That has a whole other flavor to it. But so okay. So the definitions for, I'm just going to go through Danya first, and then we'll go through Ātma-nivedanātmikā. This is from the Prapanna Jivanamritam. Yeah. Okay, so Bhagavan Raksha Rakshaivam Artha Bhavena Sarvata Asamordva Daya Sindhor Hare Karunya Vaibhavam Smaratangscha Visheshena Nijati Shocha Nichitam Bhaktanam Arti Bhavastu Karpanyam Katyate Budhai. O Lord, please protect me, Raksha, Raksha. Praying thus in a mood of distress, while remembering in all respects the greatness of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, the unparalleled ocean of compassion, the Asamordva Daya Sindhu, the unparalleled ocean of compassion, and remembering in particular one's most lamentable lowliness, one's nijati shocha nichitam. This condition of the devotees is described by the learned as karpanya, humility, also known as danya. So that's the definition for humility. And now here's the definition. Here's the definition that Srila Bhakti Rakshakshira Goswami Maharaj wrote himself. And then he also gives a definition from, it just says Keshanchit in the Bengali. So it just means like some devotee. So we'll go through all of these now for Ātma-nivedanātmikā. I'm not going to read we'll read the Sanskrit for this later on, but I want to move on. So we'll just read the translation for now. To summarily, I don't know how you actually say that, but anyways, to summarily offer everything from body and its paraphernalia up to the pure soul onto the lotus feet of Sri Hari is known as Ātma-nikshepa, our full self-surrender, also known as Ātma-nivedanātmikā. All selfish pursuits are abandoned and every endeavor is for Krishna alone, and that too up to the point of completely depending on Krishna for one's personal means and ends. Having thus cast oneself onto the holy lotus feet of one's Lord, one can never be swayed from that position, and he engages in pure devotional service with all his heart forever. So that's the definition of Ātma-nivedanātmikā from Srila Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā Goswami Maharaj. And now here's a very short definition that he also gives in his Prapanna-jivanamrita. Ātma-nivedanā is known as the condition of having offered oneself to Krishna solely to satisfy him, while being devoid of possessiveness and false egotism. This was a definition given in this book, but I think there's a more complete definition here. This is a definition directly from Srila Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā Goswami Maharaj's Prapanna-jivanamrita. It's a bit longer and it's more thorough. Let's see what it says. One who, out of love for Krishna, has died to live exclusively for the Lord's service, who is devoid of attachment for any other objective, and who is free from egotism, his godly mentality, in other words, the absence of pursuit for personal pleasure in quest of the Lord's pleasure, is known as Ātma-nivedanā, or full self-sacrifice. All right, so let's go through this first song of Ātma-nivedanā. But you see, there is a lot of dainya in this song. It's actually very similar to the songs that we've sung before. Let's go through it. Oh, and this song, I have no idea what language it's written in. It's not Bengali. Well, yeah, it's very interesting because a lot of it is Bengali, but then a lot of it, I don't know, maybe some friends of mine thought it was Maithili, maybe. And maybe Maithili is very similar to Bengali. I don't know. But yeah. So Prabhu he, Śuno Mora Duḥkhera Kāhinī. O Lord, please hear, Śuno, please hear, Mor, my Duḥkhera, sad Kāhinī, my sad tale, my sad story, or my story of distress, right? Vishai hola holo. So hola holo, it means poison, vish. So vishai hola holo. So the poison of vishai, of sense enjoyment, worldly enjoyment. Sudha bhane, bhane means brahme. Brahme means to mistake. I mistook the poison of sense enjoyment to be sudha, to be nectar, and piyanu, and I drank it. I drank the poison of vishai, of sense enjoyment, mistaking it, bhane, which means brahme, mistaking it to be sudha, to be nectar. And now, ab means now, avasana, it's setting, dinamani. Dinamani is a word, it means the sun. The day jewel, that's the literal meaning. Dina means day, mani means jewel. So the day jewel is another name for the sun. So now the sun is setting. And the sun setting means that my life is coming to an end, right? The sun sets, so this life is now, yeah. How did he translate it here? Now the sun is setting on the horizon of my life. By the way, this translation here, I just got it edited late last night. It's like half Chandrasekhar's translation, half my translation, and then Baijanti Mala edited it last night. So you're the first people to see this translation. All right, so, oh Lord, please hear my sad story. I drank the poison of worldly enjoyments, mistaking it to be nectar. Now the sun is setting on the horizon of my life. Khela rase shai shava. So khela rase. Khela means to play. Rase means rase just means, you know the word ras. Ras is that word that's impossible to translate, but in the rapture of play, I guess. Shaishava. Shaishava means the early years, like childhood, but like Shaishava is very little, like I don't know, maybe like 3 years old or something like that. I don't know the exact ages, but yeah, it's adolescence. Then Horaite Kaishora. And then my Kaishor, my youth, my boyhood, I used it in the word, the verb here is gowaulu. And this is not Bengali. I don't know what language that word is, but Srila Bhakti Rakshak Gosai Maharaj, she explains that word means Ati Vahit Korilam. Ati Vahit. So I squandered, I spent. Let's say I spent. So I spent my Shaishava, my early years in Kelaras, in play, and my Kaishor, my boyhood in Poraite, in study, in school. So because I wasted all that time, na bhelo vivek. Bhelo, whenever you see this word bhelo, and it's the common word for it is hoilo. It's like, we'll have to go over this at some point. The word hoilo, koilo, or hawa and kora. Those are like two extremely important verbs, the two most important verbs in Bengali. And you can connect them to other words and you turn them also into verbs. So we will go over that, not today, but at some point we will do that. But anyhow, so like a literal translation would be not discrimination happened. So I never developed a good sense of right and wrong, of discrimination. So that was Shaishav, Kaishor. Now we come to Jovan. Jovan means youth. So I goaunu, I wasted, I squandered my Jovan in Bhogvashe, completely under the control of worldly pleasures, allured by worldly pleasures. Gharapati Boshilu. And I settled, Boshilu, I settled into Gharpati, Gharpatiya. I settled into family life. I have to look at that verb, patiya. Anyways, not now. And in that household life, then Sutta Mita Baralo Anek. Sutta, that means children, and Mita. Mita means mitra, friends. So children and friends, Baralo Anek. Increased Anek greatly, expanded greatly. So I started to get more and more children and more friends. And now, Vriddha Kala Awolo. Awolo is asilo. That would be the common word, but asilo means now old age, Vriddha Kal has come. And Shab Shuk Bhagalo, and all happiness, Bhagalo, has fled. Pira Vashe, and under the grip of Pira, of disease, Hoinu, Katar, I am now greatly anxious and distressed. Katar has a bunch of meanings to it. I had a difficult time figuring out which one would be the best. Let's look at Katar. Katar means anxious, afraid, distressed, troubled, perplexed, reluctant, timid, ill, weak. And so it could be all of these things here. It's has a lot of meanings, this word. So anyways, so I just translated it as anxious and distressed. Now, Sarvendriya. Sarva Indriya. So all my senses. And then because of Sandhi, it becomes Sarvendriya. So all of my senses are durbal, are very weak. They're dull. And kin means my body is very frail. Kalevar, my kalevar is very frail. Bhog means enjoyment. And abhave means lacking, or an absence. So because of an absence of enjoyment, dukkita antar, inside, I'm feeling very sad, very despondent. because of a lack of enjoyment. Jnana lavahin. Lava means just a sense, a trace of gyan heen. I'm completely devoid. I am without even a trace of wisdom, of gyan. And bhakti rase vanchita. And I'm deprived, vanchita. I'm deprived of bhakti ras. Ar mor ki habe upay. What upay? Yeah, and lots of times, okay, so in Bengali, the when you say the possessive case is used to say I have lots of times. Like there isn't actually, I don't even know, I don't think there isn't even a word to have in Bengali. There's no verb have. You just use the possessive case, and then it means that you have. So you wouldn't say the way that you say I have a house, you'd say Amar ghar Amar ghar ache. That means my house there is. My house there is. You don't say I have a house. So so upay means recourse, any means. Ar means other. More, I have. Ki, what other recourse do I have? Ar more ki habe upay. I didn't explain that very nicely. Anyways, let's just move on. Then patita bandhu tuhu. Tuhu, you are the bandhu, you are the friend of the patit, of the fallen. You are the friend of the fallen. So you are the friend of the patit, and I am patit. I'm extremely fallen and completely adam. I'm the lowest of sinners. Ham means ami, I. So you are the friend of the fallen, and I am extremely fallen and the lowest of sinners. So kripai, out of mercy, utao, lift me up to your feet. Tava pai, lift me up to your lotus feet. Vicharite aobi. So if you vichar, if you consider, if you consider what I am now, guna nahi paobi, you will not find any. Pao means you will find no good qualities. So if you consider what I am now, you will find no good qualities. Kripa koro. Therefore, be merciful, bestow your mercy, and mercifully chodoto bichar. Please give up any consideration, any judgment of my qualities, of my qualification. Tava pada pankaja, your feet lotus, your lotus feet. Tava pada pankaja siddhu pibavoto. And so this is actually all goes together like that. So your feet, lotus nectar. So the nectar of your lotus feet, pibavoto, make me drink. This is a causative verb. It's like make. Pibo would be drink, and pibavoto means to make drink. So make me drink the nectar of your lotus feet. And by this, Bhaktivinode koropar, and thus deliver this Bhaktivinod. So that's a breakdown of all the words in this song. This song is in, remember how I explained there are 3 main meters in Bengali? There is the payar, which is like Goranga Bolite Habe, and there's Lagu Tripadi, which is like Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. And now this is the third one, Dirga Tripadi. There are three sections, 3 pads, 3 padas of one's 8 syllables, 10 syllables. This is the same meter as Nitai Padakamala, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Hari Hari Vipale Janama Goainu. What are some other common songs in this? Yeah, like that. Also, Sharira Avidyajal, Tahikal, that's also same. Okay. Let me just turn off the noise suppression. All right. And I'll sing this in the very traditional Bengali evening melody. This is like the most common evening melody for all these kirtans. Okay. O Prabhu He, O Prabhu He, Śuno Mora Duḥkhera Kāhinī, Śuno Mora Duḥkhera Kāhinī, O Bishay holo Sudha bane piyalu, Abava sanadina mani, Abhayava sanadina mani, Prabhu He Śuno Mora Duḥkhera Kāhinī, Khela rase shava podaite kaishora, O goaluna bhelo viveka, bhogavashe jovane, Gharapati boshilu, Sutamita baralo aneka, Vritakala aolo, Shabashuka bhakalo, Pida bashe hoino katara, Sarvendriya durbala, Khina kalevara, Bhoga bhave dukhitayanta, Jnana lava hina, Bhakti rase vanchita, Armor ki habe upay, Patita bandhu to Patitaya dhamaha, Patita bandhu to Patita dhamahama, Kripai uthao tava pai, Kripai uthao tava pai. Okay, I'm going to change the melody, and this is very commonly done. Like these melodies are kind of go together. So, O vicharite ao guna nahi paobi, vicharite aobi, guna nahi paobi, kripa karo chorato vichara, kripa karo chorato vichara, tava pada pankaja siddhupi bauta, tava para pankaja siddhupi bauta, Bhaktivinoda karo par, Bhaktivinoda karo par, tava para pankaja siddhupi bauta, tava para pankaja siddhupi bauta, Bhaktivinoda karo para, Bhaktivinoda karo para. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. As we were going through the song, it just hit me like how this song flows. It first starts out, "O Lord, please hear of my sad story." And first, he drinks the poison, the halahal of Vishai, of worldly enjoyment, thinking it, bhani, mistaking it to be sudha, to be nectar. He piyanu, he drank it. So this is what I did on my own. I drank this poison, thinking it to be nectar, and then the rest of the song is now showing what happened after drinking this poison. These are all the effects of the poison, how he just wasted his whole life, and now he's suffering so much, and he has no knowledge, no bhakti, and he feels hopeless. Like there's no what means do I have now? I'm at the end of my life. What is it? Ab avasana dinamani. Now the sun is setting on the horizon of my life. I'm at the end of my life, and I don't have anything. I don't have any knowledge, no bhakti. I don't have any devotion. But you are the friend of the fallen, and I am extremely fallen. I'm the most fallen. So now, since you're the Patita Bandhu, please, out of your mercy, Uthao, lift me up to your feet. And now at those feet, make me drink. On my own, I drank poison, but now you please make me drink the siddhu, the nectar of your lotus, of your pankaj pada, your lotus feet, pada pankaja, and thus deliver Bhaktivinoda. So I just know, in the beginning it says piyanu, I drink, and at the end it says, okay, now make piyanu halahal, I drink poison, and now here it's pibaoto Siddhu. Now make me drink nectar. So all goes together. All right, so it's 8 o'clock. Oh my God, time's over. So that's a session for today. I'll do a short Jaidwani, and then if anybody has any questions, you can ask. Or, comments also, you can mention. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Jai Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai, His Śaraṇāgati Kirtans Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Jai Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gauramandal Vrajamandal Kshetra Mandal Ki Jai, Jai Abhinna Vrindavan Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jai Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. I already said that, right? Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Sattavatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams. Let's see, there are 10 people on YouTube and Facebook, but I only see the names of those who wrote comments. So Pranams Vrinda Didi, Rasapriya Didi, Vidyalalasa Didi, Shubhananda Prabhu, and Sumit Yadav, and everybody else watching there. And let's see here on Zoom, who is there? Hare Krishna, Sarveshwari Mataji, Ashray Prabhu, Guru Nishta Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji, Manjulali Didi, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Koranga Prabhu, Sri Devi Didi, Krishna Mai Didi, Archana Didi, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Lokaram Prabhu, Subhadra Didi, and Anjali Didi. Dandavat Pranams. Does anybody have any comments or any questions or anything? If not, we can end for today. But yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Yes, Haribo. 1 second, let me just put it in gallery so I can see. Yes, Lokaram Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I can see the video here. Things are a little bit hectic over here.
No worries.
Haribo.
Oh, Haribo.
This is Yamuna.
Oh, Haribo, Yamuna. Haribo.
Give her
Radhe,
your
Radhe.
hearty blessings. We just started weaning her.
Oh, wow.
So it's undergoing some austerity.
Oh, okay. Haribo, Yamuna.
Anyway, I commented, I was wondering if you could share your perspective on this phrase, hearing from the lips. The article that we read today, I came in a little bit late. I think it was the article Thakur Bhaktivinoda, is that right?
Yes, by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Yes. Thakur Bhaktivinoda. Yeah, published in the Harmonist.
From living sadhus.
It cut off a little bit when. What was that?
So the emphasis of the article is hearing from living sadhus.
Yes.
But so much of our hearing is from books and articles and recorded lectures. And it seems like, this has been the case for a long time. Even in Satsanga, the foundation is the kata from previous acharyas or the Bhagavatam. And so we're not really hearing from the lips in that sense of Shukadeva Goswami and so on. We're hearing in Sangha at best, or on our own, just in our own private study. So some devotees have kind of suggested that there's not much value in like recorded kata or different things like that. But I'm wondering what's your perspective on this? What is your insights?
Well, this is such an important topic, and I would really love to go, I would love to become more go more deep into it myself so that I can understand. And it's such a relevant topic. I do have lots of quotes from our acharyas with different perspectives on this. So there are quotes from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He writes in the letters, and he says that when we don't have and my Param Gurudev writes a whole article in it called Shastriya Sadhu Sangha. And so like in all these places, they say that when we don't have the fortune of, being in the company of pure Vaishnavas, then we have to take shelter. When we don't have direct sadhu sangha, then we have to take shelter of Shastra. And Shastra is also Vaishnav. My Param Gurudev says that the Gaudiya, the Gaudiya is Vaishnav. These books are Vaishnavs. And so we take shelter of Shastriya Sadhu Sangha. But at the same time, and I can find, I can, maybe I should compile all these quotes together, because there are a lot of quotes on this topic of Shastriya Sadhu Sangha. But then Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he writes in one letter that this is just like in a case of emergency. But like, if there are ever Vaishnavas around, then we shouldn't think, oh, I'd rather just stay at home and like read these books. Like that's not like, we have to come into the company of real, like physical, like live association of devotees, and then discuss these topics amongst each other. Ultimately, we want to hear directly from the lips of a pure devotee, and no tape recorder. A tape recorder, it's like, it's good to listen to classes and everything like that, but a tape recorder cannot transmit Shabda Brahma. It can't, a machine can't transmit the same Shabda Brahma that comes from the lips of a pure devotee. So like, when we listen to Harikatha on recorder, like on a recorder and stuff like that, it can like remind us of like, wow, this is what and it's we should do it. It's very helpful, but it's never where we can't. Yeah, the Shabda Brahma won't be imparted through that means. It might be like good udipan, I'm not sure if udipan's the right word, but like stimulus, to like remember, oh wow, this is what it was like to be with Srila Prabhupada and like that. But I'm not sure if that wasn't like a fully complete answer, but it's just what's coming to mind right now. What are your thoughts?
Nice. Well, I think one, I think it's different at different stages of a devotee's development, in one sense, because if you haven't had association with sadhus, it's very difficult to access the teachings of Shastra or the writings of the devotees. But once you've had a certain quantity of association, when you hear Bhagavatam or read Bhagavatam or these other Shastras, your intelligence has the proper like foundation to be able to understand it and enter into it with the right attitude. And let's say a devotee was present in a lecture. I've heard some disciples of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada say that they especially like to listen to lectures recorded that they were physically present for. That this has a special sweetness, because then they enter back into that time. And
it's udipan, right? Stimulus.
Yeah.
To remember. Yeah.
And so if, by hearing a lecture or hearing, reading, we can internally feel the presence of that acharya, that Vaishnav, then maybe the material obstacle can be overcome. But ordinarily, yes, I think something is definitely lost when the medium is technology, like Zoom or a recording.
Yeah.
But I think that that obstacle it's possible to overcome if a devotee, as a devotee becomes more advanced, because the highest realization is to be always feeling the presence of one's spiritual masters.
Yes.
And to never feel their separation in one sense. And so then there's no question of, a recording or a book, because we could say the same thing, we talk about tape recorders, but we could say the same thing for words written on the page.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the same kind of technological problem. And so, yeah, we shouldn't divorce any of that from Sadhu Sangha. Madhavananda Prabhu compiled a very nice article on this topic, which he added to, I think, the end of this book, Pari Prashna, Gopal Drew Publications. I'll share that. I'll see if I can find that and share that.
Share it.
But if you have these other quotes you mentioned, I'd be interested to see. And a compilation would be nice if you get around to it sometime. 1 second, Lakshmi.
And just one thought that's coming to my mind right now is, I think in our spiritual life, the more we're developing a desire to want to be in the company of Krishna's devotees, the more we're making advancement. The more desperation is, I want to be I want to be with your devotees. And so if that desperation is increasing, like if you're in love with somebody, you're not going to just like, yeah, I'm just fine with like letters. Let's just keep it with letters. Let's just let's just keep it with phone. Like I'm fine with just like looking at pictures and looking at but no, we want to be with a person, and so we want to be with Krishna's devotee, and so of course we take shelter of these things, and there's never a situation where it's just like you're hopeless, you don't have an association of a pure devotee, and so you're kind of just screwed, and like you're gonna just read books or whatever, you're not gonna get anywhere. Like Krishna, like our process isn't that merciless, like there's always opportunity, we could always make advancement. There's never a reason to feel hopeless, but at the same time we want to be developing this. And nothing can compare to being in a direct association with a pure devotee. And so we need to increase that eagerness. And if our eagerness is sincere enough, and Krishna sees our sincerity, Krishna is the one who arranges a pure devotee to come in our lives. It's not something that we make happen. So we want to develop that sincerity, and we want Krishna to see that sincerity, and then everything will happen. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, that's another thought. Yeah.
Right.
I think that was such an important point, though, and please share that article. This is something that we probably should discuss more and more because it's so relevant. All right. All right, so Dandavat Pranams. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and I look forward. Oh, one thing. Tomorrow is our Raise of the Harmonist Ishtagoshti. So instead of at 7 o'clock tomorrow, instead of Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā, we will go through this article by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Matsarya, envy, and we'll have a discussion. So if you I think a lot of you are subscribed to the Raise of the Harmonist Ishtagoshti mailing list. If you aren't, then you go to raiseoftheharmonist.com, put in your email there, and then you get our article 24 hours before we read it so that you could read it on your own. And then tomorrow we'll get together and hopefully we'll have some nice discussions on the topic of envy, of Matsarya. And then the day after that is the day after that Nrsimha Chaturdashi? When is Nrsimha Chaturdashi? Oh no, it's May 22nd. Okay, so then we'll have one more Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā session, and then we'll have Nrsimha Chaturdashi, so we'll do some kind of program for Nrsimhadev, I don't know what yet. And the day after that is Madhavendra Puripad's appearance day, Srinivasacharya's appearance day, Parameshwari Thakur's disappearance day, and Radharaman's appearance, and yeah, it's a big day. So that's our program over the next few days. All right, Dandavat Pranam. See you all tomorrow. Hari Bol. Jai Shri Radhe. Hari Bol. Oh, Hari Bol Manjari Didi and Amit Dandekar. Hare Krishna.